Hey everybody, Timmy Flyersguy here, reminding you to check out my Back in the Day 100th episode exclusively on the Timmy Flyersguy YouTube channel. The Back in the Day 100th episode will be premiering, will be on YouTube September 15th at 6 p.m. So make sure you check out Back in the Day 100th episode exclusively on my YouTube channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to this edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. It's been a while since I've been able to post. I got banned from uploading for a while. But I'm back and I'm here for this week's edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. Today, I'm going to do something different. What is Skins' UK version? Well, Skins is kind of like a teen drama. It's like a more hardcore version of Degrassi, in my opinion. Skins was a show that was in the UK. I think it ended in 2010. It ended. I think it started in 2003. I didn't get Skins here in the States until about 2017 when it was on Netflix. So I didn't see it when I was about, 2003 I was about, I think it was 16 years old in 2003, and yeah, I thought I was 17 in 2003, and I didn't get this show in the United States. We never got it here. We did get a remake, later MTV remake, and it didn't really catch on. It wasn't as good as the iconic UK version made by father and son. There were Ryan Elsley and Jamie Britton. Now, Skins had a lot of people that went on to be good actors, great, such as Hannah Murray, and I'm not sure who the guy who plays Tony is, but he was in a movie too, I think. He played, I think he was in X-Men. I'm not quite sure. He's in one of the X-Men movies. So like I said, I'm gonna do a top 10 video of my top 10 favorite moments, top 10 most iconic moments in the show Skins. This is really a discussion, but in a way, there'll be some top 10 moments that I discuss from this series. Let's start with number 10. We're going to start here with number 10. The first encounter between Cassie and Sid. Now, this is an early episode. This is the pilot episode of Skins. The first episode of Skins, where at the beginning of the episode, Tony is calling all his friends on the phone to go to this big party that this girl is throwing, and she wanted Tony to come, and Tony decides to bring his friends to this big party, and the plot is they're trying to get Sid a girlfriend. So In this episode, Sid meets Kathy Ainsworth for the first time ever in the Skin series. Um, Cassie has some mental issues along with an eating disorder as well. She is a very bubbly, very eccentric young woman. If you, that's a good way to put it. Very eccentric young woman. He meets Cassie for the first time. Sid ends up talking to Cassie. They're hanging out by the trampoline, and Cassie kisses Sid on the cheek, and then gets to the end of the episode where they fall asleep together on the couch after a crazy night of drinking and partying. So that's my first moment that I really like, because it's the first time we really get introduced to the characters and introduced to Cassie. Now, my number 9 pick on this countdown. Number 9. Number 9. My number 9 pick on this countdown. The first time we are introduced to the character Sketch. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sketch is a stalker character. She is madly in love with the character Maxie, but Maxie is not into girls. But this girl, Sketch, is so in love with Maxie. She stalks them, takes pictures of them, and even tries to get the leading role in the play they have in this episode. Things go crazy as Sketch lied to her mother about Maxie being her boyfriend. We find out that Maxie is not into Sketch. The mother finds out she's lying to her daughter is lying to her about her being in a relationship with Sketch. Sketch also poisons Michelle. Michelle gets really sick, and she poisons her, and she also ends up hooking up with Anwar as well, which is weird. So that's my number 9 pick on this countdown. Now we get to my number 8 pick. I wanted to put this as my number 1 pick. There's so many other great moments in this series. And my number 8 pick, Sid breaks up with Cassie, and Sid's dad passes away. This episode really hit me hard, because I lost my dad in 2016. He passed away, and he had cancer. And this scene really hit home. It really did. But let's get to the part that the episode's about. Sid calls Cassie on the phone, video chats with her, finds her in bed with 2 guys. Sid misunderstands the situation because the 2 guys she was with were 2 gay men. And Sid thought that Cassie was cheating on him. So Sid gets pissed off, and he says, "I don't want to talk to you anymore. Leave me the hell alone." Sid ends up getting mad, breaks his computer, ends up destroying his computer. Some plot in this episode is Sid's mom recently left the house to go be with another man. She was having some issues with her husband. I think she divorced him. So, the dad's father and brother come over, and and the mother's two kids come over, and there's a whole subplot that Sid's dad is kind of a bumbling idiot, a good for nothing man that everybody just walks all over. His father's an asshole, his brother's an asshole. They just walk all over him in this episode. But there's something in this episode. He actually does. Sid's dad actually stands up for himself in one scene. Tells his dad to get out of his house. Tells his brother to get out of the house. He totally sticks up for himself. We get to a scene where Sid and his dad have their final talk together. Now, Sid's relationship with his father was kind of rocky. There were some problems they had. But he has his final conversation with Sid and tells Sid that shit happens. Don't worry about it, son. And he tells Sid, I love you. Sid says, I love you too, Dad. Sid goes to bed. Wakes up the next morning. Finds his dad dead. His dad passed away. He died on the couch. His dad passed away. And this scene really hit me. It hit me hard. Because it's not easy when somebody you love passes away. I know what it's like. Sid went out through a lot of pain after that. His dad passes away. And it's a sad scene. It Skins, one of the saddest scenes in Skins, but also one of the most iconic scenes in Skins as well. Sid went through a lot of pain in this episode. But also I want to add the fact, I'm doing putting this on like a countdown, I wanted to do that part of the episode. So Sid's dad passed away. Sid doesn't tell anybody, but he does tell Tony later in the episode, and Tony hugs Sid, and Sid just starts crying. And I know what that's like, because when my dad passed away, I started crying like that. I started going through the pain and the grief that Sid went through. And it's very tough. And that's why I feel that it should be on this countdown. It's a very iconic scene in the first generation of Skins. Yes, I'm only covering the first generation in this episode, but I will do Gen 2 and Gen 3 as soon as I finish watching each of them. I won't be doing Skins Fire because it's like a standalone type of show. It's actually really different. Kind of mixed up, but I will get the Gen 2 and Gen 3 in a future video. Now, and that's my number 8 pick on this countdown. And now we're gonna... Sorry. And now we're gonna discuss my number 7 pick on this countdown. Sid becomes Michelle's new boyfriend. Now let's talk about how this all came about. Tony got accused of... Tony was fooling around with another woman in a previous episode. Tony and Michelle break up. Then there's this whole convoluted thing where Tony gets hit by a bus. Some stuff happens. I will get that into that. Some stuff happens. Tony and Michelle break up. But before all this went down, Tony did some dastardly things. He tried to hook up with Maxie. He tried to hook up with Maxie he sent naked pictures of this guy's sister to this guy's phone, which then ended up getting sent to Michelle's phone, and she found the pictures and thought that the new guy that she was going out with, was definitely having relations with him. I'm not gonna say it on here because I don't want to get banned from YouTube, but he was doing some dialogue. So she thought he was doing some diabolical stuff. So they break up. Tony's hip hop buzz becomes brain damage. Him and Michelle don't are not even anymore. But in this episode, we see the gang, the whole gang, except Tony. We see Sid, Joe, Maxie, Moore, and all the gang. Yes, Michelle too. All the gang going on vacation. There's a bit of a slump with Michelle not liking her mom's boyfriend's daughter because they don't get along very well. There's a scene in this where they end up going to the beach. Sid is sitting by himself, all alone, and Scarlett, the girl that Michelle doesn't like, goes up to Sid, tries to flirt with Sid, but Sid's not interested because Sid is very depressed and very hurt because his dad passed away and he had a horrible breakup with Cassie. So Michelle walks over to him, tries to talk to Sid. Sid goes, I just can't help it. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. And then all of a sudden, Sid and Michelle, they finally hook up. They have relations together on the beach. And that's when they hook up. And the awkwardness of this episode comes into play later when Sid and Michelle come home, back to their homes. Sid takes Michelle to his house. They walk up the steps. And who was in Sid's room? His ex-girlfriend, Cassie. Or so-called ex-girlfriend, Cassie. She awkwardly finds Sid and Michelle together. And that's when the episode abruptly ends. That is my number 7 pick on this countdown. Now we're going to get into my number 6 pick on this countdown. And my number 6 pick on this countdown Effie's Crazy Adventure, or also The Search for Effie. Now, this episode starts out, Tony is at home by himself. He's at home by himself. Nobody will talk to him because he's been a jerk to everybody. And of course Michelle, who he broke her heart. So Tony gets a message on his phone. Well, it all starts out Effie goes on some crazy adventure. And she ends up getting drugged by the guy that Tony blackmailed. The guy that was dating Michelle. The one he blackmailed. When he sent those naked pictures to his phone. He calls him out, calls Tony up and says, yeah, we have your sister. We have her right here. So Tony goes, searches for Effie. Some mind games are pulled on Tony. He finally finds Effie. Effie is completely drugged, completely knocked out. Tries to call 911. The guy grabs Tony's phone, throws it on the ground, destroys his phone. Tony says, what the hell did you do that for? And Tony says, the only way you're gonna get Effie out of here is if he asked him to do something really buck wild. I'm not gonna say what it was. And Tony's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So Tony gets there, he gets punched in the stomach, knocked out. They find Effie. They get Effie out of there, and yes, Sid helped out Tony. Helped out Tony all along because he cares about Tony. Even though he's been a jerk to Sid all his life, he still cares about him. So they find Effie, they take her home. She's in the hospital. Tony gets yelled at because his parents thought it was Tony's fault that he got hurt with Sid. Sid defends Tony and says, oh yeah, well he's my best friend and he had nothing to do with it. And that's what I like about Sid. Finally stuck up for himself and stuck up for someone he cared about. So that's why I like this episode. But the weirdness, I like this episode. So basically, that's my number 6 pick. And now my number 5 pick is another episode featuring Tony. Well, actually, Anwar. But Tony is in the episode. And this little subplot goes in Tony's favor in this episode. So, Anwar is having a huge party. He's officially 17 years old. His family has a party for him. They go to this party. The subplot is that Maxie did not tell. Anwar did not tell his dad that Maxie is gay, and that's the entire subplot. So they have this huge party for Anwar. And Cassie does show up in this episode, but I'm not going to talk about that. It's kind of more of a filler episode to me. But, like I said, this episode, they have this huge party. Also another subplot with Chris and his relationship with his teacher, Angie. Angie's dating a guy. Angie's ex-husband, Mervyn, comes back. Ex-boyfriend, Mervyn. He has a bit of a... Him and Chris, they kind of butt heads. There's a big showdown at Anwar's party when Mervyn and 2 other guys show up to fight. The gang of brawl breaks out. And we see Sid in the bathroom, high as hell. And then we get to the scene where Tommy's on the phone. He tries to make things right with Michelle. He's on the phone talking to her, and all of a sudden, a bus hits him. And the bus hits him. And we hear his sister Effie just screaming and crying for her brother to be okay. Tony is knocked out. He gets hit by a bus. And then all of a sudden, the musical number breaks out to the sounds of Cat Stevens' Wide World. And the whole cast of the show starts singing this song. And I'd say this episode's pretty iconic. It's one of my favorite episodes. So that's why I put it on. It's my number 5 pick. After the musical number ends, the show the episode abruptly ends, screen goes to black, and that's it. And now we get to my number 4 pick. But first, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be back with my last remaining picks here on this countdown. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Timmy Flyersguys here, and I have a special announcement. Coming to the Timmy Flyersguys YouTube channel on New Year's Eve 2023. I'll be ringing in the new year with my 200th episode of Classic Flyers Theater with Timmy Flyersguys. That's right, folks. I'll be ringing in the new year with the Classic Flyers Theater 200th episode spectacular, only on the Timmy Flyersguys YouTube channel. So get ready. We're gonna ring in the new year on December 31st, 2023. And guess what time this video will be? At 11 p.m. on December 31st, the Timmy Flyersguys 200th episode spectacular will be making its premiere on New Year's Eve at 11 p.m. That's right, we're going to ring in the new year with a 200th episode spectacular of Classic Flyers Theater. Stay tuned, folks, because it's coming to YouTube New Year's Eve. And welcome back to this week's edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. We just did about some of our picks already in this countdown. We now have 4 remaining picks on this countdown that we're going to discuss here on this episode. And now I get to my number 4 pick here on this countdown. And that number 4 pick is Sid wants Cassie back. Now, in this episode, we see Sid and Tony just hanging around. Tony's still upset that Sid took Michelle from Tony. Tony is still pissed off at Sid. Sid explains that he couldn't help what he did. And then sooner or later in this episode, we learn that Sid actually does miss Cassie. So we're introduced to a new character. This is the episode where Effie tries to help Sid bring Cassie back. Now, Effie's methods were a little maddening, a little crazy, but yeah, maybe they became useful for Sid. She has Sid do homework for her friend Pandora, so she doesn't have to do it. We're introduced to Pandora. She'll be a character in Generation 2. We're introduced to her in this episode. Pandora is a little eccentric, sometimes kind of dumb. She's kind of like the Mahoshi of the Skins universe. Mahoshi's a character in the Tenchi series. So, after some crazy wackiness between Pandora and Effie, Sid's at home and still working on a picture. He drinks a bottle of whiskey. Then we get to a part where Effie sells Michelle's watch that Tony gave to Michelle. Tony freaks out. Hilarity ensues. Pandora passes out. They all go home. And Effie turns out to get under Sid, help Sid get Effie back. She does some crazy shit. This guy that has the hots for Effie says, hey, if you want to get lucky tonight, I know a girl that'll help you get lucky. So they go to Cassie's house to buy some weed off of Cassie. And then this guy comes in and he's kissing Cassie. And Effie just snapping photos of it. She ends up sticking the photos all over the wall. Sid's asleep. She even tapes couple of the photos of Cassie kissing another guy on Sid's chest. And Sid just freaks out and goes, no! And all of a sudden, we see Sid confront Cassie at her house. At first, Chris won't let her in. So he walks in, talks to Cassie and says, Cassie, you're a cruel person. What you do is wrong. Just running around in town with other men. And he says, F you, Cassie. And Cassie says, F you too. And then all of a sudden, they start kissing, and they start having relations on the couch. And that's the end of the episode. Cassie and Sid are officially back together, officially an item again. Sid and Cassie. So Sid is having a pretty good character development in this story. He had Michelle, now he's got Cassie again. So good on you. Good on you, Sid. Good on you. Now we get to our number 3 pick. Our number 3 pick. Chris gets kicked out of his home. Now in this episode, we are first introduced to the character Chris Miles. Chris Miles is a nice guy, has a laid-back, party personality. He's a fun guy to hang around with. He's like Spuds McKenzie without a fur coat. So basically, in this episode, he gets a bunch of money from his mother. His mom keeps sending him money. He spends all his money, and then he ends up waking up in his house, finds out that he has a squatter living in his house, and the squatter takes over the house. Squatter's rights, apparently. Takes over the house. Chris gets kicked out. He doesn't have a place to live. He's completely homeless. And then we realize some backstory about Chris. When he was younger, he lost his brother, Peter, his older brother, somebody who looked up, somebody who that he looked up to when he was younger. Tells the story about the time the kids were laughing at him, and his brother stuck up for him. His brother died because of a rare disease, and he lost his brother very early in life. And he talks about his brother-in-law. And in one part of the episode, you see Chris and Jal just hanging out. Chris's brother's grave. It's a pretty sad episode. And then we go to see where Chris, I think, sees his stepmother, I think it's a stepmother, yeah. He goes to see his stepmother. And you can tell that his dad doesn't want anything to do with him. His dad doesn't like Chris at all. He thinks Chris is kind of a waste of space, a slacker. And I kind of really felt for his character, because he has a lot of character development. I kind of think that they could have done more with his character. But at the end of the episode, something good happens to Chris. Angie was Chris today at the dorms. At the end of the episode. That's about it for the episode. I really like that episode. And that is my number 3 pick here on this countdown. And now we get to my number 2 pick. And that's the episode where Jal has a clarinet concert. She has a clarinet concert. After they go to a concert, they go to a party. We're at Jal's dad's house. In this episode, we see that Jal's dad is really against the kind of music that his daughter's playing. He doesn't like the fact that his daughter wants to better her life and wants to play the clarinet well. Her dad is more of a R&B singer, an R&B recording, an R&B guy who works at a recording studio he has in his house. Him and his daughter butt heads. Apparently, it looks like that her dad really misses their mother. Her mother passed away. She has 3 brothers. They're all recorded artists as well. They're the ones that really look out for her. The dad really doesn't want anything to do with her at times when her brothers are always there to help her and always there to look out for her. So in this episode, in particular, Joe goes to her concert. And there's a bit of a slow plot in this episode. In the first episode, or second episode, Sid buys drugs from a man named Mantuan. Really weird looking guy with a mustache. A weird looking mustache. He buys drugs from him. Sid owes him money. Sid loses the drugs. Throws the drugs in the lake. Mantuan after Sid the whole entire episode. Ends up stalking Sid and even finds out where Sid goes to school at. So in this episode, we get to the scene in jail. Matt's father shows up again, finds Sid. Sid and Joe are walking into an alley. They're getting mugged by Matt's father and 2 other guys. They take Joe's clarinet. They break it. Joe freaks out. And really, you can tell how heartbroken she is. That she got her clarinet broken. Because she enjoys doing what she does. She enjoys playing that instrument. So they end up destroying the clarinet. And in this episode, we see kind of she doesn't have her concert yet. We see a throwback. We see maybe a bit of a shout out to the Sopranos series. We all remember that one episode where Christopher was walking by and we go to the concert that Meadow was at. This reminded me of the episode where they kidnap and they threaten to kill Chris Moltisanti. They kidnap him and they try to kill him. And he's begging for his life. So Joe's dad, they had a bit of a falling out. But Joe's dad gets her a new clarinet. And he does truly care about his daughter in the way he cares about her. It's just that I think that maybe she reminds him so much of his wife that it's kind of hard for him to really communicate with her. Because every time he looks at her, he thinks about his wife. And that's why he has trouble having really a sustained relationship with his daughter. And we get to the scene where they find Matt's father. Joe's dad finds him and take him in the limo. And they literally beat the shit out of Matt's father. And that's their first character. He's officially gone, and that's it. You never see his character ever again, not even the future generations. And that's basically just about it. And now we're going to discuss my number 1 moment in Skins. Yeah, this is a really sad but also very iconic moment in Skins Gen 1 season. The episode where Chris Miles, we see the last of Chris Miles. In this episode, Chris Miles. His mother looks for him. But Chris doesn't want to see his mother. He's pretty mad at her about what happened with the squander and everything. So in this episode, he develops a friendship with Cassie. They have a great friendship. Cassie buys him a t-shirt. And he wants to show his brother the shirt. But apparently, it's just all the drugs he was on. He blacks out. He forgets that his brother passed away. That's how bad it gets for him. And in one scene in this episode, Chris dies of a drug overdose. And that's the end of Chris Miles. But really, my top 10 pick countdown was the beautiful eulogy at Chris's funeral. After Chris's death, the gang gets a warning not to show up at Chris's funeral. Dad even pays them not to come to the funeral. But they refuse because Chris is a best friend. Chris is a best friend. And why there's a eulogy going on? They have a eulogy of their own on top of a hill. They're talking about all the wonderful times Chris had, all the times they had with Chris. They talk about all the crazy things that Chris used to do, and how much of a great guy he was. At the end of the episode, there's a bit of respect shown by Chris's dad to Joe, telling them that the beautiful things they said about Chris. It's a really good episode. It's actually the end of Gen 1. In this episode, Cassie runs away after Chris dies of a drug overdose. She runs away to New York City. Sid, Tony, and Michelle. Tony drives Sid to the airport, or the train station, so we can go to New York to see Cassie. We never truly get a resolution to their love story. We never see Sid again, and that's basically it for the entire series. Everybody, thank you for joining me here on this week's episode of the Flyersguys Top 10. I have to admit that this show Skins is such a great show, very iconic show that I've enjoyed watching. A show that really spoke to me on an very artistic level. And I love this show so much. It's one of my favorites. One of the best shows from the UK. I suggest you check out Skins. Now this is it for my discussion of my favorite moments in Skins Generation 1. In the next episode, next time we will discuss my top 10. I will discuss my top 10 favorite moments in Skins UK Generation 2. Till next time, everyone. Till next time. And if you're ever so kind, please also go back and watch my previous videos as well. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video, hit the notification bell to get more videos from this channel. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. I'll see you next time.